Perhaps you heard last week, Judy Frazier and those woolly worms brought us a very cold, snowy winter forecast.
Yes, and now it's time to ask your meteorologist with Jack Gerfen, who's going to tell us all about El Nino.
Yeah, so we just found out yesterday that La Nina is happening for the second time in a row. So we'll kind of talk about what that is and how it will potentially play into our forecast here for the wintertime.
In Spanish, I believe that's the girl and the boy.
Correct.
How does that relate to weather, or does it? Is it just a random name?
It has to do with the fact that it happens around Christmas time,
okay,
so with the child. So.
All right.
Okay.
See, so learn something new every day.
That's where that comes from.
I think we prefer El Ninos, don't we? If we like a more mild winter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so what we have this year is what we call a double dip. So sometimes you can get an El Nino, and then the next winter you get an El Nino, and then maybe you don't get anything, where it kind of is neutral, and then you get a La Nina. So what does that all mean? So basically what I'm going to have is this. So an El Nino means that you have a warmer than normal Pacific Ocean along the equator, and that will play into the big, what we call teleconnections, or this obviously plays a role in our weather where we live. So if the warmer waters occur here compared to normal, that usually signifies a kind of warmer winter for us. A cooler than normal area here, which is once again now setting up, will play with our forecast in different ways and give us a chance for a little bit more in the way of some additional precipitation chances and maybe some cooler weather too. So we're trending in that direction right now, once again, kind of like it was last year. And so this will be kind of interesting to see here. Here is a La Nina jet stream pattern. So what this means is that the El Nino and the La Nina will put the jet stream, kind of move it around in different directions. Okay, so sometimes actually in an El Nino, there's actually a second jet stream, which is, you know, when you fly in a plane, when you go from California to the East Coast, you can go there much faster than you can go the other way. So what you'll see here is that a lot of times with a La Nina setup, that we have a lot more in the way of like a wetter forecast. So maybe it doesn't all fall in the form of snow, but if you take into account the woolly worms, how they're saying how it's going to be a little colder once again, and if you remember, if we had a La Nina last winter, and if we all remember last winter, we had some pretty big snow events. We might have something similar shaping up for us here for this coming.
So we got the back-to-back girls in the forecast, La Ninas, and so chances are those woolly worms and Judy Frazier are at least semi-correct.
Yep, and then obviously things can change. You know, like let's say, even if it was in a kind of an off-pattern year, you get like a big snowstorm that just dumps a bunch of snow and it puts us above average for snowfall for that winter, then that is what it is. But the general trend here is that for a La Nina pattern, which is what we're going to have, is that the jet stream is kind of close to us, if not even kind of directly over us, and that means that it could be more active with chances for more precipitation, whether in the form of rain or potentially snow.
Which do you prefer?
I like snow. I feel that.
I know, Jack.
I'm from Michigan.
He is from Michigan.
Yeah.
You don't really have a choice. Do we know, going back a step, what causes the warmer or colder currents in the Pacific? Like what predicts that, which then predicts our weather?
I don't know how much time we've got. Okay, we got one.
Probably not enough.
We got 1 minute. So there's, and it'll probably be too hard to go back, but basically there's a phenomenon called upwelling, and it occurs in every single lake or ocean. And so sometimes if a storm goes over Lake Michigan and you're visiting Chicago, now all of a sudden the water's really cold, even though you may have just been swimming there yesterday, it was really warm. Upwelling means that the cold water at the bottom has now come up. It's essentially kind of cycled through. So down by like Peru and in that side of the Pacific along the equator, you get the colder ocean water that comes up from the bottom because of how the winds are, and that will bring the colder water from the bottom up to the top, and that's what will do all this.
I knew you would have the answer. That's why I asked the question.
Only got one rap side.
I know. Good job.
Not at all. Hey, if you have questions for Jack Gerfen, you can email him, jgerfen@WCIA.com, or find him on Facebook or Twitter.